Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong on the history of this. Later in Houdini's life, he became extremely anti-psychic, I guess you could say. He didn't like people that claimed to be able to talk to the dead. I think mainly he was informed by his own mother's passing, and it really angered him. And he started going after some of these people. Do you believe that these people are still as harmful as they were during his time, and we should be fighting against them just as much?
I think the harm a phony psychic or a medium did in the 19th century is just as dangerous as the harm a contemporary 20th century John Edward or James von Prague does today. When you're preying on people's most vulnerable weaknesses and times in their lives, for example, people who are in mourning and claiming to help them, but in fact preying on that pain, on that grief, I think that's not only harmful because it prevents people from actually moving on from the tragedy of death and adapting to that, which is a fundamental part of the human experience. I think the harm in that is unquestionable, and I also think it's despicable. I think it's one of the most hateful moral crimes you could possibly commit.
So would you categorize psychics, or those who believe they can talk to the dead in this way? Would you say that
those who believe or those who claim?
I would say probably those who claim.
Right, we don't really know what they believe.
Exactly. Those who claim that they can talk to the dead. Would you say that they are the most harmful type of pseudoscience, or is there one out there?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to measure that, because then you get into the issue of the children starving in Biafra issue, right? You want to get somebody to sign a petition to save the whales, and somebody says, well, what about there's starving children in Biafra? Of course, my question to that person is, well, what are you doing about the children in Biafra? I think that's a great thing to be active in.
Sure.
This is the thing I'm active in. So it doesn't matter to me very much about which psychic or which parascience or which pseudoscientific claim is doing more harm. If you're substituting pseudoscience, bad thinking for real thinking, real science, real facts, real understanding of the universe, you're doing harm. And whether you're doing that under the label of psychic phenomena or homeopathy or chiropractic or bomb detection or whatever, it doesn't really matter to me very much. You're doing harm, and I hope I'm in a position, my particular expertise in activism, to try and do something about it.
No, I appreciate that. I'm glad you mentioned chiropractors. I have a personal vendetta against them for whatever reason. I have a bone to pick with them,
as it were.
Yeah. There was a study released some time ago that we have 800 people killed by them because they're doing things that aren't medically relevant.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can certainly find no shortage of cases in which chiropractic hurts people. Sure. But really, just even on the basis of this issue of science, the difference between science and non-science, chiropractic, just like homeopathy, just like acupuncture, these are all based on nonsense principles. Chiropractic is based on a completely pseudoscientific claim called subluxation. It's complete nonsense. So even if you end up feeling better because somebody is manipulating your back, I'd rather have the person do that, be doing it under an actual accurate label, which is as an osteopath or as a physical therapist or something like that, than under some magical principle. Even if you demonstrate to me that for whatever the reason acupuncture somehow relieves my lower back pain, let's just say, right, chronic back pain, which there may be some evidence to that, although it may well be just the placebo effect. But even if you can demonstrate that, the fact of the matter is that acupuncture is based on a completely nonsense pseudoscience because it claims to be based on chakras, okay, which don't exist. So
sure,
let's start with the truth, and then we can talk, yes, about the level of damage that can be done. But we don't even need that level of damage to say it's bullshit. We don't even need that level of damage. It doesn't matter. Yes, homeopathy, might keep somebody from using conventional treatment and might end up actually dying from that. But we don't need that to make the argument that people spend billions of dollars a year on containers of, distilled water or sugar pills, right, or inert substances for nothing, called homeopathy, when in fact those billions of dollars could actually go to something that might benefit someone on the planet. So let's start with the difference between what's true, what's not, what's real, what's not.